What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jesus Conde, and today we're going to be continuing with this progress on my comic book. So let's get started. Alright, guys, so in last episode we talked a little bit about how I created these sketches on VR using Gravity Sketch, and also made the heads on ZBrush so I could draw them properly every time without really missing anything or morphing them throughout the whole comic. This is a technique that worked for me, and it really helps me visualize all the scenes without really making any mistakes in terms of where characters are located, perspective problems, things like that I've done when I was doing it all by pure drawing on paper, or basically the first stages of my comic book. It was really hard to visualize all the scenes and where the characters are going to be placed and all that. This way everything is on 3D, like the characters are where they are, like you can move them, but I mean, when you put a camera, it's pretty easy to just place yourself on the scene and trying to visualize it. You can also test different angles and any way you want, really quick, which is something that is really helpful, I feel like. And as long as you have a sketch first before going on 3D, this is like a perfect tool for me. It's pretty easy to handle. Alright, so the drawing part, I came about this technique that I do the characters and basically everything that is important in the scene for me is the characters with certain brush, and then the other things that are not so important is another one that is a little bit more sketchy. Then I do the outline, which is what you're looking at right now. It's basically just a thicker line on top. Well, I wouldn't say thicker. It's the same thickness of the other one, but because I'm drawing it on top of the old one, it looks even darker. And that's it. It's basically a darker line. And then we have these shadow paths that I do. And I created this small brush that has like two brush strokes, 2 tips, and that is it basically. I just try to make the shadows using that one, because if it was just one stroke, I will be dying. It will be like literally like double the time, because this brush is double. It has like 2 tips, and I can do 2 brush strokes at once. I tried it with more. It doesn't work quite as well. I tried it with 3 and 4 lines, 4 strokes, and it doesn't look good. It's like it totally looks like it's just a brush that you're using to trying to gain some time by doing this part of the process quicker. But just 1 stroke was too slow, so 2 is a good place for me on this comic. Also, I'm trying not to be over detailed on the scenes. Like, it's not really necessary. Most people is going to read this on the phone or on an iPad, and I get that the iPad is big, but the phone is not. And I feel like the majority is going to read it on the phone. And yeah, I think we've been through this conversation. I don't want to have beautiful drawings and a crap story, so I concentrate more on the story. At least for me, I feel like it's a decent story, and the drawings are okay. It's a balance that I've learned to use on my favor. Alright, so we have these characters, and right now I don't really care about the background, so I just jump to the next one. I want to do the background eventually, but I'm just gonna use assets, because the background is basically just trees at this point. So all of those can be solved with assets basically. The only thing that is going to be important to draw are the things that are key for the story. In this case, that rock is actually really important. Is a new rock where they are going to hang out. If you read the first season, which is not long, it's just 9 episodes. It has a huge rock where they tend to hang out, and this is a new place where they're in, and they found it. Not in this episode, like they found it before. They're just coming back here, and yeah, those kind of elements are important to the story. So I'm gonna draw them all the time. But everything that is gonna be in the background, it can be solved with assets, and it's that's a relief because there's a lot of trees in the back that I have to do. Also, depending on the angle of the camera. In that one, is from the top. You don't really see too much of the trees, only like the lower part. But in this one, you are going to see them in the back a lot. So it's necessary to find a way to solve that, and I did have those assets. If you're interested on getting them, there's a link in the description to my Gumroad, and yeah, that's a way also that you can support the channel if you like the content. I mean, you can use it for whatever you want. Personally, I use it just for the comic books. And what else can I tell you about my workflow? It's pretty funny because when I started doing the comic, I felt so lost. It felt like a so hard task to do. Now I'm making everything even more complex. The scenes are like longer. In the first season, I was trying to save drawings. Like how much dialogue can I put in this without making this like an eternal nightmare of drawings? And I got pretty good at it. And in this one, it's kind of, I will probably go back to something like that to try to save myself a little bit of drawing time. But at the same time, it's kind of like a relief that I can really do something and kind of predict how much time I'm gonna spend on it. The problem with this chapter is that I really like leaving the episode with you wanting to read more, or at least give that sensation of a cliffhanger. And if I don't get that on what I'm doing, it's like there's no point to ending the chapter here, so let's just continue. And this one is one of the most revealing ones. There's something that happens that is really important, and man, if I just cut that moment because of just feeling like I don't want to draw anymore, it's just gonna be a bad episode. And I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, so I don't lose that momentum of people reading it. The first episode comes this Sunday. It's gonna be interesting. I already have the corrected English version of it. And then the person that is in charge of translating them is going to be fixing all the first season because there's a lot of spelling mistakes, and they talk like me. So there's a person that's gonna take care of that. It's gonna take some time. It's not gonna be quick, but I will be writing them as soon as I finish them. And I will let you know when the whole first season is done again, from scratch, all the English translation. Because right now it's just like Tarzan talking. It's basically me trying to write in English, so it doesn't make too much sense. It makes sense to talk and explain some things. I can kind of manage that, but it's a really different thing to write an interesting script when you don't really know the language. So It's gonna be translating from the Spanish version, which is something that I did do very well, at least according to my standards. Um, Not that the spelling mistakes are not there; they're also in the Spanish version, which is a nightmare. Um, but the way the story is told, it's well done, and that doesn't happen with the English one. It's not the same. There's a lot of different ways that you can say the same thing, and yeah, I brought somebody to help me with that. It's just gonna take some time to fix all the episodes, but I will let you know. Anyway, um, see how quickly I can put those backgrounds thanks to the asset pack. That really helps. And also, it's something that looks more complex, but it's really not that much. It's just something that's in the background. It's like it's just set dressing, and it helps a lot to sell the scene. Kind of keeps it together. And yeah, this is it, guys. I really hope you like this episode, and thank you if you have read the comic, even though it's crap written in English. But thank you.